So let's move on to a little bit more about mental health. Okay. So some of the common mental health concerns that we see in seniors, right, not only seniors, but in young people as well, are isolation, insomnia, anxiety and depression, stress, brain fog, declining health and memory, increased dependency. For example, a lot of seniors now afraid to go and get groceries, needing to ask people, family members or friends. It can put a lot of strain. So a lot of these issues are aggravated during the pandemic. Now, the causes, right? So why do we feel anxious? Why do we feel isolated? Why do we feel depressed? Why are some people more prone to having these illnesses versus others? Some of the contributing factors are poor nutrition, right? When we're eating stale food, unhealthy food, imbalanced, salty food, fried food, or even not eating properly can be a big cause. Our minds do need good food from the body. If our brain isn't in good shape, our minds won't be able to function well. Overloading of the senses. And what I mean by this is overstimulation. We're living in an era where there's a lot of influences through TV and cell phones and radiation and information overload. And this has a detrimental effect on our mental health as well. So even something like watching the news, if you have the news on 24/7, this, from an Ayurvedic perspective especially, tends to throw us off balance. When we do it on a daily basis, this only increases. Poor sleep, undigested experiences, lack of routine. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this. Stress, the lack of Agni or the digestive fire, and imbalanced doshas all lead to mental imbalances. And one point I want to get across is it's not just getting old, right? When we start losing our memory or we start having joint pain, I find even in practice, I see so many people, that are maybe only in their 50s and say, I think it's just getting old. Yet you'll see videos of, 90-year-old people doing yoga in India that are just still as fit as some 30-year-olds. So I want you just to remember that it's not only about getting old, it's just about imbalances that have increased over time. So we can also apply the dosha imbalances, vata, pitta, kapha, to when we're looking at mental health issues, right? Anxiety is more of a vata imbalance, depression is more of a kapha imbalance, anger is more of a pitta imbalance. So we're essentially looking at these issues from an Ayurvedic lens. Okay, I'm going to keep moving on so we have some time for the treatments and tips. So many different treatments that can be used, right? There are lifestyle, there's self-care, there's yoga, there's counseling, there's herbs, therapies, and nutrition. All of these factors lead to a holistic treatment of health issues, but also work as prevention. Ayurveda is a preventative system of medicine. So it's about catching things early on and doing things that will really help you stay healthy for long. Dinacharya. So this is daily routine. Okay, so I want you to just take a moment right now and think, what do you do as a daily routine for your health, right? Is there a little routine that you do? Do you get up and brush your teeth? Do you have your shower? Do you go for a walk outside? Okay, these can all be considered small aspects of daily routine. And Ayurveda focuses a lot on the small things that you can do every day. Okay, so this is the dinacharya. So it's not about doing, spending hours and hours of trying to be fit and healthy, but incorporating it into your day-to-day routine. Okay, and when you incorporate it, it becomes natural. It becomes a normal thing to do. So some of the dinacharya practices, okay, these are things that most of you can easily do. Tongue scraping, okay, so this is a very common part of Ayurvedic routine, eliminating toxins first thing when you wake up. Morning meditation, yoga practices, right? Whatever you do that helps you go inward, right? To find that place of stillness and well-being. This can be done as a daily practice. Going for an outdoor walk for fresh air and sunlight. I know in winter time we tend to stay more indoors and stay cooped up. but just getting fresh air and sunlight can do wonders for your mental health. Evening self-massage, right? How many of you do any self-massage? Self-massage involves applying oils, right, or aromatherapy onto the skin, which is very, very relaxing for the nervous system. If any of you have had Ayurvedic treatments or seen those pictures of Ayurvedic spas or therapies, they involve a lot of oil because oil soothes the nervous system. Okay, so there are many ways you can do simple, foot massage before bed, or a small head massage with light oils, which can be very supportive for your well-being. And then fresh seasonal food according to your body type. So if you're more of a Vata type, you want to eat a diet that is more related to supporting Vata. And same thing for Pitta and Kapha. So it's really important you understand your body type so that you can eat accordingly as well. So these are simple ways that you can help balance your body and mind on a daily basis. Now, the next concept is Ritucharya. So we had our daily routine. Now we have your seasonal routine. What you do in the winter, what you eat in the winter, should be different than what you do and what you eat in the summer, for example. So a few examples here that relate more to the season that we're in. We're sort of in the late winter season here in Canada. Warming spices. So incorporating a lot of the ginger and black pepper and many of the other spices into your your daily food. You want to be eating less of the heavy winter food, things like rich food or deep fried food, and increasing more of the fresh foods, incorporating more fruits and soaked nuts. I find sprouts are a perfect something wonderful to add into the diet at this late time of the year, just as we're getting close to spring, because this also increases the vitality in our own body and mind. Eucalyptus steam inhalation, something simple to do in the shower, which helps open up the lungs, can be a wonderful daily routine practice. Or simply lighting a lamp, right? If you have a candle or a little altar space, lighting a lamp is a way of connecting with that fire energy, right? In the deep winter, when it's cold and dark, we want to bring that element of fire into your day-to-day. Cleaning your space, right? We hear about the spring cleaning, but actually getting rid of old and making space for new is so important in the space that we live, right? During the pandemic, a lot of people are staying at home, they're working at home. There's a lot of clutter building up, and that clutter manifests in the mind as well. We're not able to think as well or think as clearly. So cleaning up your space can do wonders for also cleaning up your inner space. Bright clothing, right? Avoiding dark grays and blacks and using more of the bright colors can be a way of lifting your mood during this winter time. And dry skin brushing, if this is something you've done where you just take a washcloth and you sort of scrub your body before you get into the shower, can be a really invigorating way of lightening your mood and lifting your mind. So there's a lot to go in terms of diet. I would love to talk more about Ayurveda and the body types, but it is quite a deep topic as well. So we'll just skim, right, a little bit of eating for your body type, right? Because a healthy body supports a healthy mind. And then you're not just what you eat, but also how you eat and when you eat. Okay, I find, especially in the West, there's a lot of focus on calories and nutrition and eating healthy and salads and things like that. And all of that's important. But for every person, every body type, they're going to need different nutrition. And it's not just about what you eat, but also what time of the day are you eating, right? Are you eating a heavy meal right before going to bed that you can't digest? Are you skipping breakfast on a regular basis? And how are you eating? Are you eating on the go, in the car, moving around, watching TV? Or, do you sit quietly? Do you, sit consciously with your food? These are some of the Ayurvedic aspects to eating well. So when we're in a healthy mental state, we will digest well. And when we digest well and our bodies are in good shape, we'll also feel good and our mood will be good as well. So essentially, there are many more details about what a Vata body type eats, what a Pitta body type eats, what a Kapha body type eats. We won't go into that. But again, there are a lot of resources online where you can understand more about some of the nutrition according to the body type. Healthy movement, exercise. We hear so much about it, but how much of us actually do that? especially in winter. Do we get outside? Do we move? Do we get fresh air? And I find, especially in the senior population, often there are other issues such as arthritis and joint issues or mobility issues. And sometimes people can feel frustrated that they're not able to move or able to walk or do exercise. But there are many ways of bringing movement, right? Whether it is doing some simple Tai Chi or some yoga or exercises in a chair. So I like using the word movement more than exercise, especially when we're talking about senior population. Healthy sleep. So rest is the basis of activity, right? If you have a good sleep, you generally have a good day, right? Sleep deprivation has detrimental effects on mental health. And Ayurveda has many tools to help with sleeping well. And it's not just about the quantity. It's not just about your 8 hours of sleep. You're looking at the quality of sleep, right? If you're on the computer on the screen before bed versus if you sit for some meditation or some quiet activity, your quality of sleep can be drastically different. There are many studies showing that screen time impacts melatonin, which is our sleep hormone. And I'm seeing this a lot in young people as well as older population, where people are not able to sleep because they have their cell phones, they're on their tablets before bed, and that has a detrimental effect on your brain activity. Another concept is the Ayurveda clock. So you can see here, there are certain times of the day where the three doshas are dominant. So the kapha time of the day is 6 to 10 a.m. and p.m. Pitta time of the day is 10 to 2 a.m. and p.m. And vata time of the day is 2 to 6 p.m. and a.m. So the night and the day are the same cycles. So there's certain activities that we want to sync up with based on the time of the day. And this can relate to some of the circadian rhythms, right? The pitta time of the day is often when we're most active. And essentially we want to get to bed before 10 p.m. because our bodies are going to be doing that activity, that cleanup of the system as we sleep. So sleep is also very important and a basis to being healthy, okay? Healthy nervous system. So the nervous system, right, is the backbone of our mental well-being as well. So some tips here, we want to avoid overstimulating the sense organs. From an Ayurvedic perspective, we spoke a little bit about news, for one example, or exposure to negative or disturbing images. It's important to surround yourself with, sort of positive environment for your well-being. Of course, there's many herbs and supplements. These should always be customized by a practitioner. But the omega oils, B12, Ayurvedic herbs such as Brahmi, Bakupa, Ashwagandha, these are all great nutrition for the nervous system. And especially if somebody is experiencing a lot of anxiety or depression or worry or even just fatigue, some of these herbs and nutrition can support mental health as well. So there's a lot more to go into that, but I just wanted to cover that there's that aspect. Okay, and then Ayurvedic massage. As I mentioned earlier, massage is the integral part of Ayurvedic treatments. If any of you have had Ayurvedic massage, it's so relaxing and so soothing. And it's not just a relaxation or a beauty treatment, but it also helps detoxify the system. It helps the body get rid physically of unwanted toxins and also mentally, emotionally. It helps you get rid of a lot of things. Now, self-massage is something you can easily do on your own as well. It mostly involves using a little bit of oil, such as sesame oil or coconut oil. If you're in a cooler climate, you can use coconut oil. And applying that, you can put a drop or two of essential oils, such as lavender or eucalyptus, and apply that on the feet before going to bed. And this is a very simple and easy treatment that you can do, and it can actually really improve your quality of sleep, and you feel fresher. It helps calm the mind and helps sort of draw things out of the body and promotes relaxation. So Ayurvedic massage is one tip that you can do to help you feel better and to also work with prevention of mental health issues. So In essence, mental health is a balance of good Agni, balanced doshas, and balanced gunas. Right? The body and the mind work together. And when we can do simple treatments such as eating as per our body type, eating fresh, holistic food, daily lifestyle practices, such as lighting a lamp, going for walks outside, meditation, self-care practices such as the Ayurvedic oils, essential oils, all of these things can be done to help prevent issues, but to help keep our spirits up, especially at this time now where a lot of people are in more isolation, lack of social support. It's really important that we keep these practices alive because they're more needed now than ever. And last thing, seek support. You're not alone. We're all going through this together. And last thing is we don't want people to feel isolated just because we can't, physically meet people. It's really important to stay connected. Health is a journey, and I'm so glad that you could be part of this webinar today. I hope this gave you some insight into the world of Ayurveda, the vast world of Ayurveda.